welcome to No Brainer MMA. I lost my laptop charger at school, so unfortunately I'm using my phone. But I'm getting a new one tomorrow. So
I'd be honest with you, like it's kind of like not noticeable.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I feel like my hair looks longer.
Yeah, because it's at a different angle. Definitely. Yeah,
probably.
You got Jesus hair, bro. Damn. Dan's dying for our sins. Thanks, Dan.
I really am dying.
You want to get right into this?
Yeah, I want to get into this.
All right, let me start it off with Luana Pinero versus Sam Hughes.
I wanted to take this one, and
take it then.
If you don't mind.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
All right, yeah. Again, I'm using a shitty laptop, so it takes me a second.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so Pinero is coming off of she had that illegal up kick win over Randa Marcos. Do you remember that? It was weird.
Yeah, she was winning the fight, and Randa Marcos kind of like just threw up some random ass kick.
Yeah, but she did look good in her Contender Series fight back in 2020, where she got a finish in the first round, 2 minutes and 48 seconds in. And she's taking on Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes is, if this thing lets me scroll, holy shit, this thing does not let me scroll nicely. Yeah, Sam Hughes is coming off of 2 straight losses. One was the vicious beating she took by Tecia Torres, where it was a doctor stoppage in the first round. And then she lost to Loma Lapune, who I'm a big fan of. Looking at this fight stylistically, I just think this is Pinero's fight all day. I don't want to throw shade towards Sam Hughes, but I just don't think she's got she's got the advantage. Let me scroll up again. They're around the same height and whatnot, but I just think Pinero's the stronger fighter. She's going to probably bring it down to the ground. She's got a good judo background. And for the most part, I'm pretty confident Pinero is able to pull this one off.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to totally agree. Sam Hughes hasn't really shown any signs of life yet in the UFC. Just got completely outclassed in both those fights. With a minus 3.4 striking differential over the course of those fights.
I agree.
She did look better in her second fight. She had 6 minutes of control time. Not from takedowns, just from clinch. So, it was kind of boring. So, and actually did end up winning a round on the judges' scorecard. So she did, I shouldn't say she didn't show any signs of life. She definitely improved from her first outing. And she's going to be taking on Luana Pinero, 2-0 in the UFC, 7-fight winning streak. Won her last time out from DQ. She was just beating up Randa Marcos, like you said, Dan, and Randa Marcos threw up like a desperation up kick.
She's a minus 400 favorite for a reason.
I did not know that. That's crazy. She's got a plus 2.4 striking differential over the course of those first 2 fights, 50% accuracy. Judo black belt, BJJ brown belt. Finished.
Her judo background is nasty.
Yeah. This one isn't close. I'm agreeing with you, Dan. I'm going to go Pinero.
That's what I like to hear.
Nice. So we're both agreeing. We're both going to go Luana Pinero, and we're going to move right into the next one. Shyleon Nerdambiek versus Sean Soriano. I'm going to start with the guy whose name is much easier to say. Sean Soriano has an impressive 0-4 UFC record. Got subbed 3 times. He lost 3 times back in 2014 to 2015 too, and got cut. And then recently joined back to the UFC and got and lost again. Getting taken down at least 3 times in every fight he's been in. He was signed again in May, losing to Christos Yagos, and didn't really show much improvement from that long time he was away. He did look good on the feet. That wasn't at all bad. He just has problems with the takedowns. He's taken on Shyleon, who lost his debut in his last time out to Josh Kulabau, where he got outstruck 3-1, only landed 2 out of 14 and went 2 out of 14 for takedown attempts.
Yeah, and he has the loss to Zurong on his record. This is kind of a gross fight, if you ask me.
He did manage another 6 minutes of control time in that fight, though. Shyleon really struggles on the feet. Soriano really struggles with the takedowns. So I'm curious to see how this one pans out. It's a huge question mark. I'm going to go with the grappler and Shyleon, I think.
So am I, and he's a plus 280. So let's ride that.
I'm down for that.
Let's fucking ride that.
Yeah, for sure. So you're agreeing with me, Dan? We're going to go Shyleon Nerdambiek?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
That's a big underdog right there. I love every minute of it. Next, we're going to move right into the next one. Cody Durden versus Aori Quailing. Damn. Third time's a charm.
You want to take this one, and I'll take the Terrence McKinney fight?
Yes.
I could take the Loma and Loopy fight, too.
All right, perfect. So Cody Durden, 0-1-1 so far in the UFC. Making a tough debut against Chris Gutierrez on short notice at a higher weight class. So, and it ended in a draw, and he showed how badass he was. And then he lost to Jimmy Flick after beating Flick up, and then Flick just did a Jimmy Flick thing, and he flying triangle. And it turned out to be Flick. It was Flick's retirement fight too. He retired after that, which was a damn shame. Durden's very well rounded, finished 10 of his 11 wins, 5 by KO, 5 by sub. He's taken on Aori Quailing, who's had a tough debut against Jeff Molina, also a very tough fight. It was a performance of the night. He managed to take Molina down each round, but didn't get too much control time, stood right back up.
Yeah, no, he got right back up every time.
And he was knocked down twice and absorbed 127 significant strikes in the third round alone. So that's just insane. This is another tough one. I really like Aori Quailing's volume in his debut. I'm worried about that chin. But I think he'll be able to get a decision win. But Durden is backed into a corner here, and I feel bad almost going against him in this one.
Yeah, see, I'm not going to go against him. I'm going to take Cody Durden in this fight. I think that he's able to grind out a decision win in this one. He's just going to grind, you know?
Yeah, that's what he does. He's a gamer, and he can switch up everything just to get a win. He'll grind out a win.
Yeah, like we said, very well-rounded fighter.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's not a bad pick. What are the odds here? Do you know? I can check.
They're near even.
Damn near even. All right, so that makes sense. All right, so we're disagreeing on that one. I'm going to go Aori Quailing, and Dan's going to go with Cody Durden, and we're going to move right into the next one. Terrence McKinney versus Fair Ziam.
All right, yeah. So Terrence McKinney, so far, well, he left a nice impression in his UFC debut, knocking out Matt Favola in 7 seconds.
Lightweight record.
Yeah, crazy. And he was just knocking people out in the LFA before that. Before that, he has losses to Sean Woodson and Derek Minor, who are both UFC fighters right now.
Yep.
This guy's the real deal, in my opinion. I really do like Terrence McKinney. For us, Zeon is definitely going to be
he's good.
He's good. He's going to be a really tough test for him. He has wins over Jamie Malarkey and Luigi Vendramini. This is another really close fight, I think, honestly. But Ziam's the favorite in this one, surprisingly. But I think McKinney's able to knock him the fuck out. Yeah. I believe it. I believe in Terrence McKinney. I just love his style. He just goes for it, you know?
Yeah, he's really amazing.
And it's technical too. It's not like he's throwing looping punches all over the place. I really like Terrence McKinney's power. I mean, he's finished his last 4 fights via TKO, KO, however you want to call it. 3 of them within a minute and 12. Actually, all 4 of them within a minute and 12 seconds. So this guy fucking gets it done, and he gets it done quickly. I think this fight might last a little bit longer, but Terrence McKinney's going in for the finish, and I got him by knockout. Ziam is an absolute killer. Don't get me wrong, but I think Terrence McKinney might be something special.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one too, Dan. McKinney 1-1 under the UFC umbrella. had a tough contender series flying knee KO to Sean Woodson, it's kind of like a freak thing to see that.
It's Sean Woodson. He's so fucking big.
Yeah, exactly. He did have a good game plan though. Went in there, close the distance, landed a couple of takedowns on Woodson. But yeah, he just landed that, and you don't wake up from that. Then bounced back in his UFC debut, first round KO against a big favorite in Matt Frevola. Matt Frevola was a heavy favorite in that fight. He's finished all 11 of his wins, 6 by sub, 5 by KO. He's taken on Zeon, 2-1 in the UFC, going to decision in all 3 of his fights. Gets taken down a little bit too much, and not just that, but he gets complacent on the ground too. Just a lot of control time just starts to add up. Also, we've seen him slow as the fight goes on, especially in that Vendramini fight and the Madge fight. If you've seen those fights, he slowed down drastically in the 3rd round. I'm going to have to take Terrence McKinney in this one. But those odds I'm looking at right now are dead even as well. We're going to have several dead even fights already to start the night.
This next fight is going to be a close one too.
Damn. Well, I'm going to take a look. Oh, yeah. So we're agreeing on this one. Terrence McKinney. Probably.
And then we're going into Loma Lapune versus Loopy Godinez. I love Loopy Godinez. I think she's a dope fighter. She's coming off of that loss to Luana Carolina, who kind of just got the better. Like, it was a close fight. It really was. But it was kind of gross. She took that fight on a week's notice, like, what are you going to expect? And she went up a weight class. So, like,
yeah, she's badass.
She's a badass. Loma, on the other hand, she's just so slick. The way she fights, she's just a slick fighter on the feet. She'll put beautiful combinations together. Her Muay Thai is just fucking phenomenal. I think she trains out of Thailand, actually. Yeah, she trains out of Tiger Muay Thai. Makes sense because of her amazing striking.
Yep.
So as much as I love Loopy, I'm going to take Loma in this fight. I think that she edges out like a 29-28 decision win. Loopy's probably going to look to clinch it up and bring it down to the ground, but Loma's got enough experience behind her where she knows that's what's going to happen, Yeah,
dude. I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. Loma 3-1 in the UFC, only loss coming from Angela Hill. And if you watch that fight again, it was like close. You could have had Loma winning that fight easily.
Loma's great. I love watching Loma fight.
Yeah. She outstruck her, stuffed more takedowns, but still it was a close fight. She's a crazy, unbelievable striker. Muay Thai background, trains out of Tiger Muay Thai, like Dan said. Arguably one of the best striking gyms. She has a plus 2.1 striking differential at 58% accuracy, 1.5 takedowns at 76 and 76% takedown defense. And she's going to be taking on Loopy Godinez, who's making her 4th fight of 2021 and her 3rd fight in 43 days.
She stays active.
Yeah, active to say the least. She took her last fight, like Dan said, on the short notice, heavier weight class. Grappler, she averages 4.4 takedowns per fight, 33% accuracy, 85% takedown defense, minus 0.5 striking differential. She's badass, tough as nails, Godinez. But I'm gonna go with Loma's volume, takedown defense, and I think I'm a decision victory here. Yeah,
so do I. 29-28.
Yeah,
I think Godinez will get her down 1 round, but that's it.
Yeah, I could see that. So we're both agreeing, solid odds on that one in Loma Lapune. And we're going to move right into the next one. Halfa Garcia versus Nathan Levy. Me, right there? All right. So Halfa Garcia, 0-2.
You want to take the next 2 so I could get Adrian Yanez? I'd love to see Adrian Yanez. And then I'll take Joanne Calderwood Joanne Wood against Tyler Santos.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to start with Halfa Garcia. What?
I need some neck support.
You're looking down on me, dude. Halfa Garcia, 0-2 in the UFC. Also another badass dude. Made his debut on very, very short notice against Nasrat Hat Press. and showed how tough he was. He went to decision with him. Then fought longtime UFC veteran Chris Groots, remember him? And another decision loss, but still was outstruck, but did show off his grappling game. He's taken on Contender Series alum, making his UFC debut, Nathan Levy, who's pretty green, only 6-0 MMA record. He's got a karate.
He's fighting out of Syndicate MMA, though. That's decent, Jim.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a karate black belt to go with it, too. Fights out of Syndicate MMA, like Dan just said. And his pro debut, he was directly into the LFA. So that's how you know someone's good.
Yeah, he had a nice amateur record as well.
True. He went 4-0 in the LFA. I said he's got that karate black belt, but he wins mostly by submission, which is pretty crazy, and has a pretty great ground game. And we saw that in the
all-rounded.
Yeah, in that Contender Series fight, he choked the dude out from half guard. It was impressive, and I'm gonna have to go with him in this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I love Halfa Garcia. I think he's super talented, and I root for him and I've basically rooted for him in every fight so far. But I just think that Levy's got this fight. To all the points you mentioned, he's an Israeli fighter. We don't see very many of those.
True.
He's gonna look to put on for his fucking country. This isn't just like people say, like that doesn't matter, but that shit matters. Like that brings the heart into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if it's tied up going 1-1 into round 3, he's gonna fucking bring it all. So I'm gonna take Levy in this one. Halfa Garcia has just been, he's kind of just been on the losing end of his fights. I hate to say.
Yeah, he has been. But he's exciting. But yeah, he's. It's tough not to go with Nathan Levy in this one.
Yeah.
All right, so we're agreeing. Both go Nathan Levy. Gonna move right into the next one. Tucker Lutz versus Pat Sabatini. Pat Sabatini, 2-0 in the UFC. He's a BJJ black belt. 12 out of his 15 wins have been finishes, 11 by sub. Former Cage Fury champ, former Pan American BJJ champ. Really strong grappler. In that Tristan Conley fight, he went 1 for 5 for takedowns, but still had 9 minutes of control time. Just a strong guy. Also averages 1.6 strikes per minute so far in those first 2 fights.
Yeah.
His striking doesn't look too great. Relies really heavily on his grappling. He's taken on Tucker Lutz, 3-0 under the UFC umbrella. Made his debut in his last time out against Kevin Aguilar, and won 29-28. In my opinion, in that fight, he wins mostly by KO TKO. Has gone to decision in all 3 of his UFC fights, 2 Contender Series fights, and then 1 UFC fight. He's got a plus 1.4 striking differential at 52% accuracy and 2.3 takedowns at 63% accuracy, which is just crazy, and 84% takedown defense. Very well-rounded. I think he'll be able to keep up with Sabatini's grappling and just pick him apart on the feet. And I'm going to go with the underdog again in this one in Tucker Lutz.
So am I. I think he's going to be able to take it on the feet. I think he's going to be able to take him down and avoid the dangerous submission game that Sabatini brings into the table. So
dude,
I'll keep it short and sweet. I agree with you. You hit all the points I was going to hit. Yeah,
that's 2 sizable underdogs already, and we just hitting like the halfway through the card. So this could be interesting.
Yes.
We're both going Tucker Lutz right into the next one. Adrian Yanez versus Davey Grant.
All right. So one of my favorite fighters to watch in this entire fucking sport is Adrian Yanez. I think this guy's got a fucking future. He is just fun to watch. He's just so technical and precise, and just, he'll just land that perfect right hand or a head kick, even whatever, like he's a dope kickboxer. Super fun to watch. He did get beat up a little bit in the first round in the first round against Randy Costa, but then he came back and he finished that fight. Davey Grant, on the other hand, Ultimate Fighter alumni. I mean, it's hard not to like this guy. This guy's just an absolute beast. He knocked out Jonathan Martinez, and he also knocked out Martin Day. So this guy's got some power as well. So I'm expecting Adrian Yanez to have maybe some issues. He might even get dropped in the first round or something. But I think his overall technical ability on the feet is going to be enough to maybe even put Davey Grant out, but at least outpoint him for the decision victory. I'm riding high on Yanez in this fight.
Yeah. Davy Grant, like you said, Dan, he's I'm a huge
He's
fan.
great.
He's so cool on that tough season. Stand up dude. And he finally got into a little bit of a groove recently. He found his footing a little bit. His last 3 fights were either performance or fight of the night. Lost in his last time out with a rematch with Marlon Vera, but super close. Counting his tough seasons, he's finished 11 of his 13 wins, mostly by sub, but Davy's got some power for sure. He's got a +1 striking differential, also 2 takedowns per fight at 46% accuracy, taking on Adrian Yanez, 4-0 in the UFC. Also, 3 performance of the nights or fight of the nights. So this fight could be fireworks. Had a great comeback win his last time out against Randy Costa, where Costa threw like a barrage at him in that first round, and then was just able to outlast it and TKO'd him in the second. He's got a +1.3 striking differential, only 38% accuracy. He's stuffed all 6 of his takedowns so far in the UFC too.
Yanez is a -320 favorite. Damn.
Yeah, I think I'm most excited for this fight. And I think I'm going to go against my heart and go with Adrian Yanez in this one.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah.
All right. So we're agreeing on that one.
Yes.
I'll move us right into the next one. We got Joanne Wood, not Calderwood. It's Wood now because she married her head coach. Versus Tyler Santos. All right. I'm going to be real. This Joanne Wood was originally supposed to fight Alexa Grasso on this card. And I think this division from number 2 to like number 10, they can all beat each other on any given night, to be honest. Yeah. You have Valentina Shevchenko at the top of the division, but still at the same time, it's close, you know, like, Joanne Wood lost a split decision to Lauren Murphy, who fought for the title, you know, like it's very like everybody else is pretty close and stacked next to each other. But Tyler Santos, on the other hand, is making a fucking name for herself with wins over Molly McCann, Jillian Robertson, and Roxanne Modafferi in her last 3 fights. And she has looked great in all of them. She has a striking background, but she also has shown that she can have that heavy top pressure that she's been using in her last 3 fights. Like, she's been taking her opponents down. And Joanne Calderwood, she likes the dirty box. She likes to get in the clinch. She just likes to stand up in general. I think Tyler Santos might even have the edge there. I'm going to take Tyler Santos all the way. I'm going to almost lock this in. I think Tyler Santos beats Joanne Wood. Sorry. No. It's a tough one to call though, but I really like the trajectory of Tyler Santos's career. She's looked phenomenal in her last 3 fights. Yeah,
she has. But I don't agree with these odds whatsoever. -300 favorite.
For Santos?
Yeah, I think that's wrong.
Wow, that's ridiculous. Yeah. It should be like -150 +140 type deal.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah. Santos, I agree with you totally, Dan. 4-1 in the UFC, 18-1 record, wins mostly by KO TKO. If you take a little closer look at her record, though, it's kind of weird. 14 of her first opponents had a total of 7 wins. 9 of them had 0 wins. But aside from that, she's just looked pretty stellar in the UFC. So that doesn't even really matter at this point. Her dad was a Muay Thai teacher, so she's been training since she was a kid. And it shows. She's got a +1.5 striking differential, 2.6 takedowns per fight, 86% accuracy, 88% takedown defense. Just outrageous stats.
It's a beast.
Yeah, she's going to be taking on JoJo Wood, Calderwood, 2-3 in her last 5. I thought she won her last time out against Lauren Murphy. I'm a big fan of hers too. I have a lot of fan favorites on this fight for me. 4 out of her last.
That's why I kept the next one for you.
4 out of her last 5 fights, she's had over 100 significant strikes landed. Her volume's nuts, 6.8 strikes per minute, plus 2.2 striking differential, and 1.6 takedowns per fight at 55% accuracy. I am worried about her takedown defense, though. She's gotten a lot better recently, though. Stuffing 12 out of her last 17 in her takedowns in her last 5 fights. I think this is another banger, to be honest. but I'm gonna have to go against my heart again. I just think that Talia Santos ground game might be a difference maker in this one.
It is. She's gonna drag her down to the ground, and she's just gonna beat her up from there.
Yeah.
Her top control is fantastic. She was able to control Jillian Robertson on the ground. Jillian Robertson is no joke on the ground.
And can I say, I'm just going to read something from hers again. 2.6 takedowns over the course of 5 fights. And she lands at 86% accuracy. That is unheard of. No one, not even Ronnie Yaya lands at that high of a rate.
Yeah. So we're agreeing on that, and we're getting right into your boy, Ronnie Yaya versus Kyung Ho Kang.
Yeah, so
take it away.
I'm going to start with this other guy, Kyung Ho Kang. He's been out since December of 2019 on a 3-fight winning streak, with his last 2 wins coming by split decision. Actually, in his last 5, he's gone to split decision in 3 of them. Something that you just never want to see, putting it in the hands of the judges like that. He's gotten lucky. What'd you say?
You get lucky when you win multiple split decisions like that, because you do to get robbed. Not robbed, but when you're in a close fight like that, it could really go either way. Yeah,
I totally agree. He's got an even striking differential. Does average 2.5 takedowns per fight and 59% accuracy, 71% takedown defense. He wins mostly by sub. 13 out of his 17 wins have come by sub. He's finished 13 out of his 17 fights, wins, and 11 by sub, excuse me. He's taken on a grappler in his own right, and Ronnie Yaya, 3-1-1 in his last 5. Out of his 27 pro wins, 21 of them have been by submission. He's never gotten a KO TKO. Although he does have a he does have a black belt in Muay Thai and a 2nd degree black belt in BJJ.
He's phenomenal on the ground.
Unreal.
And he still got it.
Yeah,
we keep saying it. He still got it.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to say it to the day I die. Ronnie Yaya still got it. Averages 2.9 takedowns per fight at 33% accuracy. We're going back so many fights, though. This is going to be a crazy grappling match. It's might be even a stay away from for me. A lot of question marks, but I have to go with Ronnie Yaya on this one.
Yeah, I mean, this fight's so 50-50, but I'm just gonna ride Ronnie Yaya just because I love him so much.
Good thinking. I'm gonna look at these odds real quick. Hold up. Yeah, it's another dead even. What the fuck?
Yeah, these fights are close, bro.
Yeah, I will say that Kang has a 5-inch reach advantage, but his striking isn't really that great. So that shouldn't even...
And Ronnie's going to try to bring it down to the ground, and his lower center of gravity is going to help.
Of course. He's dope. So we're both agreeing. We're both going to go Ronnie Yaya on that one, and we're going to move right into the next one, which is Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady.
Yeah, we got Michael. Don't talk about my mom, Chiesa. Don't you ever talk about my mom, Chiesa.
We should get buttons like a radio show. So like we hit a button and it says like, "Don't you talk about my mom."
Don't you ever talk about my mom.
Don't you talk? One is "Don't you talk about my mom," and then you follow it up with "Don't you ever talk about my mom." Soundboard.
Followed by Chris Weidman, and that's still my boy.
Oh my boy.
Yeah, so we got Michael the Maverick Chiesa taking on Sean Brady. Chiesa was kind of getting rocked on the feet, and then he was able to take down Vicente Luque, and then Luque just got that Darce choke on him and choked him out real quick.
Real fucking quick.
I think that showed that Luque's just on a different level than Michael Chiesa, to be honest. Sean Brady is a prospect to watch that is saying it lightly too. Wins over Court McGee, Ismail Nordayev, Christian Aguilera, and Jake Matthews. His last fight, I believe he finished. It was an arm. I think he was an arm triangle in half guard too, as well. This guy is just an absolute beast. And this is a tough fight to call because you have a very experienced Michael Chiesa against Sean Brady. But you know what I do. I ride with the young guys. I think that Sean Brady's making a name for himself right now. His grappling is fantastic. It's going to be who gets who down first. And I think that Sean Brady's a little stronger. I think that he's able to bring Chiesa down. Chiesa is a strong motherfucker, though. So that's just props to both of them at that point. But yeah, I think Sean Brady takes this one. I don't know if I don't think he submits him. I think he just gets the UD in this one.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. Sean Brady has looked like pretty spectacular in the UFC so far. 4-0, perfect 14-0 record. Mostly wins by decision. He has won his last 2 fights by sub, so that's pretty good to see. He's a BJJ black belt under Renzo Gracie Philly head coach Daniel Gracie. He's got a plus 1.1 striking differential at 55% accuracy, 2.7 takedowns per fight at 60% accuracy, and is yet to be taken down in the UFC. Taking on Michael Chiesa, 4-1 in his last 5. Broke a 4-fight winning streak in his last time out against surging Vicente Luque, who, yeah, we did see just Vicente is on a different level right now.
Yeah.
I think
he's gonna fight Kamaru Usman soon.
Yeah, I could see that. But Chiesa has looked nothing less than stellar since moving up to welterweight. Recording 20 takedowns since moving up in weight, over 5 fights at 82% accuracy. I went back and did the math, and that's just we're talking about what's her face type accuracy, Talia Santos.
Yeah.
So he's just looked really great without that weight cut, and he gained some muscle too. His striking numbers are low, but they've always been low. 1.9 strikes per minute.
He's not a striker.
Yeah, but he has outstruck his opponents in 3 out of his last 5, mostly ground strikes. Sean Brady has a massive amount of height. So it's usually hard to see someone lose who has an undefeated record. That being said, I'm going to go with the veteran in Michael Chiesa in this one. I think he's able to get it done.
It's going to be very intriguing. I'll say
I
that.
say bet this decision, because this for me is like a decision lock when I vision it.
Yeah, because I don't see either guy submitting the other.
No. And it's just they're going to do what they do and just grind out decisions. So, another fucking close one. What are you going to do? We're going to disagree. I'm going to go with Michael Chiesa. Dan's going to go with Sean Brady, and we're going to move right into the next one. Ketlen Vieira versus Miesha Tate. Let me start off by saying this. I couldn't be any less excited for this one. Ketlen Vieira, 3-2 in her last 5. Coming off a loss from Yana Kunitskaya. Since joining the UFC in 2016,
that was a very controversial fight, by the way.
Was controversial. Thank you for saying that.
Because Ketlen Vieira had the control, but she got outstruck like 95-2 or something like that. You're not winning fights like that.
No, not at all.
Her gas tank didn't look there like it was there. I don't know. It made me iffy about her. She was really climbing up the ranks on my board, and then that happened. Yeah,
that was pretty big. Another thing about Ketlen Vieira, since joining the UFC in 2016, she's only fought more than once a year. One time in 2017, she fought twice. And you just want to see a lot more activity than that, in my opinion. She's got a minus 1.2 striking differential at 36% accuracy. Also 2.2 takedowns per fight at 48% accuracy. That's really good. And 92% takedown defense. Also very good. And has only been taken down one time in her UFC career. She's taking on Miesha Tate, who made her comeback earlier this year after not fighting for nearly 5 years. She looked great. She looked
great.
Absolutely great. Her matchup was kind of teed up for her, in my opinion. Marion Renault, 44 years old, on a 4-fight losing streak. So
Marion Renault did look good in her last fight before that.
Marion Renault will look good till she's not look good. She'll fight good. She'll look good. Yeah. Till she's 50.
Yeah.
Fight wise.
I
lost my train of thought. I'm thinking about her. I'm thinking about Marion Renault. I don't want to give any stats even for Miesha Tate, because we don't know what we're gonna see again, because she's only had one fight since a 5-year layoff. So they don't really mean anything to me. She has a grappling heavy approach though. In her last time out, her striking looks really great too, and very improved since the last we saw her. I think the UFC wants Tate to win this strictly for name value. This is a conspiracy theory I got. And to be a new contender for Nunes, even though it's not really a contender because they fought already, and so
Amanda dominated, absolutely decimated her.
Yeah, but it's something different, because we're getting sick of seeing Amanda Nunes beat up everyone. So let's do this again. So if you can't tell where I'm heading with this one, I'm going to go with Miesha Tate.
Yeah, so am I. I think that Ketlen Vieira has gas tank issues, and I don't think that Miesha Tate does. Point A, for example, for Miesha Tate's gas tank is she was losing that entire fucking fight against Holly Holm before she pulled off that rear naked choke, which was one of the greatest comebacks in UFC history. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
that
was good.
Remember when Holly Holm rolled over and Miesha kept the hooks in, kept it under the chin? That was fucking just dope. I was very happy for Miesha Tate when she got that win. Yes. And then she retired. She started a family, and then she was like, you know what?
I'm back.
I need to beat some people up again.
Yeah.
And Ketlen Vieira is I agree with you. No, it was kind of like the fight that it was kind of set up for her to win. Yeah. This fight is not as set up for her to win. She could lose this fight, but at the same time, my biggest question mark in this fight is Ketlen Vieira's gas tank. I don't think she's going to be able to go 5 rounds with Miesha Tate, while I think Miesha Tate can grind out 5 rounds against her. So that's my biggest takeaway from that. They're both grapplers by trade. So we're not going to, I think we're going to see a lot of clinch. We're going to see a lot of clinching in the first 2 rounds, and then it's going to finally hit the mat in the 3rd round. I think Miesha Tate's going to be the one on top.
Yeah, I know you mentioned gas tank issues for Ketlen Vieira, but she also has the weight cut issue, probably related. Missed by 2 pounds in her last time out, so maybe she should be fighting a little bit heavier. So, and that's been a consistent problem for her, actually.
Well, with the UFC maybe cutting 145, it's like she has no choice.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But there's still time. It's not cut yet,
Yeah.
No. All right, so that's it. Sorry for that last one. That was that's a I don't even care. I don't give a fuck about it. I want Ronnie Yaya to be the fucking main event. All right, so we're done here.
This is a quick one.
This is a quick one. We got shit to do, people to see. So this is no brainer MMA. We're signing off.
Peace out, boys.